salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha and welcome back to Trope Week. What Trope Week is that every day for an entire week, I pick one specific book trope and I give you a bunch of book recommendations. Today, I'm going to be focusing on romances that have groveling heroes, but more specifically, historical romances with heroes who grovel. Let's get into it. Hello, how are you? Welcome or welcome back today. Today was a no makeup day, okay? Like, literally my skin has been breaking out and I've been like pre-filming and wearing a lot of makeup. Normally I like to like match my makeup to my outfit and all of that stuff, but not today. Today I was tired. I look a little bit different. I just put on some mascara for you guys, but I went to work with no makeup on, and as soon as I like walked through the door, my coworker was like, "Oh, Samantha, you look very tired. Are you okay?" And I'm like, yes, I am tired because it's 7 in the morning, but I'm also just wearing no makeup. So I threw on some mascara and lip balm just for you guys and this video. But that's not what you came for. Anyways, I'm really excited to be filming this video. It's another installment of Trope Week where I am recommending a bunch of tropes and books this week, and I'm collabing with a bunch of YouTubers as well. If you've missed it, I will put the playlist down below, as well as my other Trope Weeks that I've done in the past. And I'll talk today. This is not a good start to the video. Today, I'm going to be talking about historical romances with heroes who grovel. Heroes who bring the angst, have messed up, and they need to atone for their sins. And this video is in collaboration with one of my favorite YouTubers, and that is Lacey from LaceyBookLovers. This is like Lacey's specialty, is groveling heroes in romance books, so please make sure to check out her video. I'm doing historical romances, and Lacey will be doing contemporary romances, so you can get different types of recommendations from the both of us. So I will leave her channel and her video linked down below. But I adore Lacey. She has become one of my dear friends because she is honestly the sweetest person alive. It's such like a chill, calm energy to her in person and in her videos. Also does have a romance book club with Jessica from Peace Love Books, where every month they pick a book, a romance book. Sometimes it's contemporary, sometimes it's a historical. Sometimes they pick books on Kindle Unlimited. It's a really well-rounded book club. I believe they're called the Ravished by Romance book club, if I'm not mistaken. So I highly recommend joining their book club if you want to. I will leave that link down below as well. What else? I just love her. I adore her. She's so sweet. So I'm excited to be filming today's video. I have a handful of historical romances to talk about, so let's just hop right in. Okay, so the very first book is A Kingdom of Dreams by Judith McNaught, and this is a medieval enemies to lovers romance. Now, it is no secret that I do not like Judith McNaught's books, okay? I have trashed her books, dragged her books through the mud. I literally went through my collection and even donated all of her books to Lacey, which is so funny, because I cannot stand her writing style. I have tried. Every time I say this, people are like, "Oh my gosh, but you haven't read the right Judith McNaught. You haven't read the one that's the best." I've read like 12, okay? And the only one, I say all that to say this. The only one that is a saving grace is Kingdom of Dreams. This book is divine. This book is perfect, so beautifully written. It's 5 stars in my opinion, which makes it like even more disappointing that her other books are trash because I love this one so much. Not a Judith McNaught slander video. I have many of those. But I think me saying that really attests to how good this book is, because I despise every single other thing she's written except this book. This one is great. Okay, I'm just gonna move right on. The first in a series, but it absolutely can be read out of order. Again, it is a medieval enemies to lovers romance. So our heroine gets sent to a nunnery by her family, wanted her to get into an arranged marriage with a man that she does not know and does not want to marry, and she immediately declined, so they sent her to a nunnery kind of like as punishment. And then a rival English clan, that's where our hero comes in, ends up seeing her and kidnapping her. Our hero kidnaps our heroine, okay, and kind of uses her to get back at her family and create this like war, if that makes sense. But he's besties with the king, and the king's like, "Listen, we can't have this war, we need peace. You guys are going to marry each other." And they're forced into this arranged marriage that neither of them really want to be in. And our heroine is a very strong-willed heroine. She is very close to her family. So the fact that he is literally the enemy clan of her family starts a lot of discourse in this book. Our hero is definitely an alpha possessive hero in the beginning of the book. He kidnaps our heroine. Like, I don't know what else to say. and he has some apologizing to do because of that, and he goes through it in the end. He definitely has a redemption arc. He definitely grovels. Like, he literally, like, sacrifices his life for her. I'm not trying to be dramatic or give plot twists, but when I tell you our hero goes through it to get to our heroine, their romance was very well deserved. A+ groveling. The only Judith McNaught that I will ever recommend. I have to preface that because, like, sometimes people, like, see a recommendation, they'll be like, oh, she likes that author. No, 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 bestie. I do not like this author. I like this book. There's a very clear, definitive difference. And if you want to hear more on Judith McNaught's Slander, I'll leave the video down below where I read like 5 of her books and hate all of them. Okay, moving on. The next author that I'm going to talk about, I actually adore and love to pieces. That is Sarah MacLean. So this is The Day of the Duchess, and it's a historical romance. It's kind of like a fan favorite. I know a lot of people on BookTube love this book in particular, especially Crystal from Crystal Bookish Life, who I will link down below because I know she also loves groveling romances and gives great recommendations. The book follows Malcolm and Seraphina, and they're married pretty young, and they make a lot of mistakes, and through misunderstandings and just life, they end up growing apart. Married by law, but like they're not really a married couple. They're pretty much separated. So Seraphina, years later, ends up marching into Parliament and demanding a divorce from her husband, which honestly is kind of brave for a woman of her time. I love the heroine in this book. Anywhoozles. So our hero is a little embarrassed, but he decides to agree to divorce her as long as she finds him a new duchess. So she's on the hunt to find him a new duchess so that they can get a divorce. But of course, he does not intend to divorce her. He intends to get her back. This is a second chance romance, marriage in trouble, lots of angst, groveling hero. It has a lot of tropes in this book, and our hero does grovel. Sarah MacLean loves a good grovel. If you're like looking for historical romances where the hero has to grovel for all the stuff he's done in the past and he has a really good redemption arc, Sarah MacLean is a great author for that. Next one is The Earl Takes All by Lorraine Heath. The plot of this book is a little wild. Our hero is a twin, and he ends up going on vacation with his twin brother to Africa, if I'm not mistaken, and his brother dies. Very tragic. Very tragic. He dies. But his twin brother's wife, the Duchess, is he a duke? No, the Earl Takes All. Oh my god, he's an Earl. It's literally in the fucking title. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a mess today. Brother is an Earl, okay? Because he was born first. And he's a twin, so he didn't get the title. Moving forward, his brother dies. Tragic, horrible, so sad. And what is an Earl's wife? A marchioness? Okay, guys, I need to stay on track. Somebody keep me on track. His wife is pregnant and has had a few miscarriages and stillbirths, and he's afraid the wife is going to lose the baby if she's stressed out or if anything happens to him. So in his dying breaths, his last moments of life, he makes his brother promise to pretend to be him and to continue to marry his wife. Completely normal, right? So of course our hero agrees and goes back to London and pretends to be his brother and continues to pretend to be married to this woman so that she can have the baby and the baby won't die. Well, you can see how problematic that might be, especially because our hero has been in love with his brother's wife for like literally years. He has a lot that he needs to make up for. Messed up situation. It's a sticky situation. He has promises that he made to his brother, but now he is lying to the love of his life. So what is a man to do? He is supposed to grovel. Exactly. This book is angsty and our hero has to work for our heroine's love. Yes, he does. I highly recommend the audiobook because it's a great audiobook, but Lorraine Heath, man, she knows how to write an angsty romance book for sure. Next book is Any Duchess Will Do by Tessa Dare. This is the 4th book in the Spindle Cove series, but in my opinion, I feel like you could read it out of order. Oh, I think I have it actually. It's right here. Some of the books I grabbed and then the others I like couldn't find. So anyways, I got this one signed at a Polycon. I was able to meet Tessa Dare in person. How exciting. It says, for Samantha, only you will do. Because it's Any Duchess Will Do. How cute. I didn't even notice the note that she put in there. So this is the 4th book in the Spindle Cove series. Again, you can read it out of order. The entire series follows this town called Spindle Cove, where a lot of like spinsters and people who are not married kind of go for refuge. It follows a series of their romances. So our hero in this book is kind of being pressured to find a duchess. He's being pressured to marry someone and continue the title, and his mom is just putting a lot of expectations on him, and he's tired of it. He does not want to find a wife. He finds our heroine Pauline in a bar. She's a barmaid, so this does have a class difference in it. This is one of my favorite tropes in historical romances, and he convinces her to marry him, kind of like a marriage of convenience. He does not prepare her to be a duchess at all, and kind of just like throws her into nobility and this society that is so judgmental, and he really, like, he doesn't really want to be married, and he doesn't treat her that great in the beginning. But never fear, there is always a redemption arc for these heroes, and he has to grovel. I enjoyed this romance book, and I think Tessa Dare just writes amazing historical romances anyways. Also realized that Sarah McLean also signed this book because I saw her at a Polycon too, and this one says, Samantha, demand the best. Oh my gosh, I love it. So I cherish that. The next books that I want to recommend are by one of my favorite historical romance authors, and that is Miss Christy Caldwell. This is the Wicked Wildflower series, which I have talked about endlessly on my channel. I have a whole video on it, which I will link down below. Shameless plug. There are two from the series. I have The Governess and The Spitfire, which is the third and last book in the series. Can you read them out of order? Yes. But is it better if you read them in order? Also yes. It is The Governess, and it follows our characters Reggie and Broderick. Broderick. How do I pronounce his name? Regardless, this whole story follows him and his sisters, and he owns a gambling hell, and our heroine Reggie works for him, but she's kind of also like the governess for his younger siblings and some of the kids that the gambling hell has employed and provided a safe haven for. She has dreams of opening up an opera house, and she's saving money to do so, and when Broderick finds out that she is opening up kind of like a rival business, opera house, gambling hell, samey, he gets real pissed. He gets real pissed. Like, he thinks that she's trying to betray him. He thinks that she's stealing from him. He goes off. He has like a very tortured past, our hero, as most historical romance heroes do. And yeah, he fires her and is real mean to her. And I will say he's very stubborn to like the bitter end, and then when he realizes like how madly deeply he's in love with her, he grovels. He does, and they have their little redemption, and it's cute. And I'm trying not to give away too many spoilers, but I really liked this one. The other one that I like is the Spitfire. So this one I actually will say is like the one you definitely can read as a standalone. So our heroine is friends with our heroine from this book, and she is also trying to open up an opera house, but she's a madame. She's an ex-sex worker, and she lives in downtown London, and she ends up seeing our hero being badly beaten in the streets of London, and she saves him. She nurses him back to health after he literally almost gets beaten to death, and then she finds out that he's a duke. And she has not had good interactions with nobility, so after she nurses him to health, they go their separate ways. But it turns out our hero is actually part of Parliament, and he unknowingly passes a law that restricts her from opening her opera house and sends her a cease and desist letter. When she finds out who he is and what he did, she's real pissed. She's real pissed. Hero in this book, even though he does have, you know, some stuff to grovel over, he's such a cinnamon roll hero, and he's also a virgin hero, which I love. I love that trope so freaking much. So in comparison, you have like a very alpha possessive hero who has to grovel at the very end because he realizes he fucked up, and then you have like this soft cinnamon roll hero who like is absolutely in love with our heroine and has to grovel for her love. Two vibes. Pick your poison, babe. Those are my recommendations, but I have two books that I just want to mention because they are on my TBR. It is My American Duchess by Eloisa James. A lot of people love this romance, particularly because the hero grovels, and I know a lot of people love Eloisa James. And then there's also Lady Gallant by Suzanne Robinson, which is a little bit more of an old school historical romance, but a lot of people look like they love it. So these two are on my TBR right now, and I thought I would just like throw them in this video in case you also want to add them to your list. This is it. I hope you guys enjoyed these book recommendations, even though I was a little bit of a hot mess express in this video. That's fine. We got it together. I gave you all the book recs. Make sure to watch Lacey's video. And as always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in tomorrow's video, which is another installment of Trope Week. On and on the videos go. Okay, I love you guys so much, and goodbye. I have to end this video now. I just keep talking.